Despite its childish and wildly immature nature, Talking with Dinosaurs is not intended for children. It has blasphemy, sweary words, sexy talk, and bad, bad thoughts. It is for entertainment purposes only, and while care has been taken to keep information as accurate as possible, paleontology is an ever-growing field with new data and theories constantly changing how we see these prehistoric monsters, so we make no guarantees about accuracy. I mean, not that it matters. Paleontologists are just making it all up as they go along anyway. And to my mum, I'm still very, very sorry. Whoa, wait, something seems different here. I can't put my finger on it, but I think I really like it. Anyway, welcome back to Talking with Dinosaurs, the world #1 rated comedy dinosaur trivia podcast, hosted by a New Zealander and updated infrequently. Sometimes you got to get really specific to be on top. Sorry about the long wait between episodes, but let's be real, you know me by now. I'm about as reliable as a grandfather clock with a missing gear, no pendulum, and it has been disintegrated in a blast from a death beam. When I say fortnightly on a Tuesday, I really mean, eventually. Maybe. You may know that the dinosaur internet is abuzz at the moment with Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, and the related toys and games that are coming out in support of it. I, however, am not, as apparently my constant frivolous lawsuits and threatening letters written in the blood of children mean that I have been issued a non-contact order from Mattel, Universal Pictures, and their relative subsidiaries. Joke's on them though, as a ginger, I'm not bound by human law. I think, I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere, maybe I dreamed it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What are they going to do, arrest me? I'm already in a reptiloid prison camp with surprisingly lax security. Anyway, you didn't tune in to listen to me talk about my legal woes, prison setting, or bowel issues, so let's get to the meat of the issue. As I said before, dinosaurs are really hot right now, so to cash in on that sweet, sweet SEO, I'm going to talk about giant mammals for the second episode in a row. Which giant mammal though? There's so many greats. Doedicurus, the giant club-tailed armadillo, Megatherium, the buff as fuck sloth, Paraceratherium, the giraffe on steroids that definitely should have got the name Giraffatitan. Then there's a Smilodon fatalis, the saber-toothed tiger, and the 44 other species of saber-toothed cats? Hang on, 44. That can't be right. 45 completely separate species of cat, all with saber teeth? Wait, a lot of them weren't even cats, they just all looked pretty much exactly the same way? What the hell, evolution? We let you away with starfish and the human penis, but what's the deal with your Mesozoic unoriginality? Well, it's not even limited just to mammals. As anyone who has visited the Permian Monsters exhibit that was recently at Otago Museum, my local museum, and is currently at Pukeariki Museum in Taranaki, New Zealand, synapsids from the Triassic period such as Gorgonopsids were the first known creatures to have those sword-like chompers. They were scary-looking beasts and our ancient ancestors. Saber-teeth seem to have skipped the dinosaurs for some reason. They had some big old biters, but for whatever reason, evolution gave it a solid thumbs down for 160 million years. Evolution really put that one in a safe place for later. Just like my grandmother hiding a birthday present so we couldn't find it, then never ever being able to find it again. Every time, Grandma. Every time. Right. That brings us up to the Paleocene and the rise of the mammals. Once evolution didn't have all those kick-ass dinosaurs to distract it, it had to dig back deep into those drawers of badass features to give mammals, and found pronounced canines cowering in the back, terrified after having not received attention for the equivalent of the full length of Coronation Street 320 million times. Almost enough time to begin to understand their bloody accent. Oh, Deirdre, look out for the bloody saber-toothed tiger. Next up was the Thylacoleo, a sort of marsupial tiger that was more closely related to kangaroos than cats, despite looking exactly like a big cat. It would hide in trees and drop onto the back of giant wombats. Though both those species are now extinct, Australia has somehow become more dangerous since then. which is why Ben from the podcast Murder Down Under is so unbelievably strong. He's effectively unkillable from having to constantly dodge spiders, snakes, and drop bears. "Oh, did you, mate? Look out for the bloomin' saber-toothed tiger!" From there, all saber-toothed cats are in the order Carnivora, along with pretty much every carnivorous quadrupedal mammal there is. Everything from the smallest weasel to the mighty polar bear, to the poor, inbred little dog struggling to breathe through its deformed nose as it's carried around in your aunt's friend's designer handbag. Carnivora splits into caniforms and falliforms, or doggos and puss-pusses, depending on how memey you're feeling at the moment. Saber-toothed cats popped up again and again through a variety of genuses, but seem to follow a pattern. Mega mammals like mammoths or megatherium evolve, and some kind of saber-toothed cat evolves alongside them. The mega mammals die out, and then the saber-toothed cats starve to extinction. Rinse and repeat every, 8 million years or so, and then you're done. The last species of saber-toothed beast to exist, so far, is the epically named Smilodon populator, which translates to the razor-toothed destroyer. Sounds like a mid-2000s emo kid's MySpace name. It, along with the similarly brilliantly named Smilodon fatalis, the fated razor-tooth, roamed the ancient Americas, with the first remains being discovered in Brazil in the 1800s. Smilodon didn't really capture the imagination of the world, however, until people started digging into the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles. These pits have revealed over 166,000 specimens from hundreds of different individual Smilodons. That's huge! Researchers think so many were drawn here by stuck prey animals' cries of distress. Sort of like the moas in Arno Valley, as I mentioned in a previous episode. Make sure to check that one out, even if you've already listened to it. In fact, especially if you've already listened to it. I make a great joke. If you don't hear it, it means you didn't listen hard enough. Or you listened too hard. You got to Goldilocks this shit, man. Now, Smilodons, like most other awesome mega mammals, went extinct around the same time humans started to get their shit together and really started on working towards being Earth's #1 parasite. Now I think it's time to give the Smilodon a rating. I'm going to have to give it 4 oversized canines out of 5. Now after a quick message, it's time for our questions and answers.
Did you know a turkey puppet once ran for the presidency of Ireland? Did you know that meat once rained from the skies of Kentucky? Did you know that there was an emperor of the United States for a while? Then listen to the Wiki Ship Down podcast.
We live in an age when the sum total of humanity's knowledge can be found in your pocket on a smartphone at any given time. But when that knowledge is peer editable, like it is on Wikipedia, what does that say about mankind? So follow us down the digital rabbit hole as we drink, joke, and curse our way through the random button on Wikipedia and see where our journey through humanity's knowledge takes us.
While you're at it, follow us on all social media at WikiShipDown. I'm Ruth Ann.
I'm Ryan, and be sure to find us every Wednesday on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Woo-wee, it's time for our question section. I can't think of anything smarmy to say, so I'll just get right into it. Our questions today are from Jack Webster, Lord Dragon King, Knight of the Guild, Slayer of the Yarn Kutku, and Mad Scott with a silly hat. He asks, what kind of dinosaur is Dino from Flintstones? I'm not going to do that accent. I can't do the Scottish accent. I mean, I couldn't do the other accents, but I really can't do the Scottish accent. Now, come on, Jack. Dino is obviously a Snorkosaurus, a proceropod dinosaur that was probably from the Triassic period. They say it in the show. You've got to give me something harder than that. Oh, you've got something more difficult to that? Okay, let's hear it. Ken Ham, curator of the batshit crazy Creationist Museum, is under the delusional opinion that humans have lived alongside the dinosaurs. Would you be able to send him a comprehensive account of why he is wrong, and quite clearly suffering from a case of being a raving picklehead? Why, yes, Jack, I can. I went ahead and sent a multi-paragraph email on your behalf to Answers in Genesis, one of his companies that spreads, Jesus-y stuff and bigotry. I won't read the whole thing out, as it was mostly a very dry read on how carbon dating works, and a basic rundown on why Genesis should be considered, at best, a metaphor. I worded it a bit more delicately than you did, but I did make sure to call him a raving picklehead. I am surprisingly yet to receive a reply. Since I always do my best to make my listeners happy, however, I actually found Mr. Ham's home address in Kentucky, and I've sent him a postcard with your sentiments. I'll keep you updated if I get a reply on this one. I would, however, like to point out the irony of mocking creationists about believing dinosaurs lived at the same time as the Earth, while asking questions about the fucking Flintstones. Stuff like this is why they change the flavour of Urn Brew, you Gaelic geek. Right, that's it. I'm done. Again. I came back just for you, and I hope you appreciate it. Podcasting is pain. Trust me, I'm 3 different doctors. What do you mean no one is forcing me to do this? I'm in a reptiloid prison camp. They are literally forcing me with drugs and torture. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'm really sorry about the delay. I wish I had a good excuse, but I just don't goodly with the time things. Deadlines, whoosh, etc. I would love to thank Alec Reed for the absolutely brilliant new theme music for the show. The previous theme was something I threw together in about 4 seconds and wasn't something I wanted to use long term. I've really enjoyed this new one and I really think it suits the podcast a lot more. Make sure you check out his SoundCloud, Al-Ectricity. That's A-L-Ectricity on SoundCloud.com. I'd also like to thank Underfoot, who did the wonderful logo for the show, which I never thank often enough. Now, I just ask that you make sure you punch a horse. Wait, what? No, make sure you leave a review and subscribe wherever you can. Where did that horse thing come from? God, I've got problems. Anyway, that's all I have time for today. I've been Stefan Ato, and we've been Talking with Dinosaurs.